Hello, welcome back to another installation of What Would Lou Do. Today we are looking at the G43X. A lot of people have heard about the 43. What's different from this one is that this one has more capacity. What actually turned me on to this one was I had first got the 19 and it was a little bit big and bulky for me. And I wanted something a little more compact, and I'll do a little comparison for you guys, but I just thought that it would be pretty cool to show you the different options out there, because while you see this big old G here and everyone says you gotta go this way, I'll leave that up to you after we go into some of the specs and some of the size comparisons and so on and so forth. So let's spin her on around here and show you guys what you will get. I've repackaged this as best as I recall it coming. That way, if you go and get this brand new in the box, you should see something similar to this. So without further ado, there you go. What you'll get, of course, is the Pistola. 2 mags there, 1 in the Pistola. So 3 total. You also get the mag loader, right, to make it a little faster for you, a little speed loading action. You get a lock, which I don't have in this case. Where did that go? I'm not sure. It's a big one of those big orange locks, big cable locks that goes right in there. You get the little brush to clean the inside out of the barrel. And you get your manual. This right here, this is just some spare parts. Now, this is not usually the way that this looks. It usually has the streamlight on it, but I thought it best to take it off that way, not to give anyone any kind of false hope and be like, well, hey, that one guy's, he had a cool light on it. That's an aftermarket addition. What you'll get in the box is right here. This is it. Now, there are 2 different versions. There is the 43X, which is this one, and then you have the 43X MOS version. 2 things separate them. One, it has an accessory rail, whereas this one doesn't. And the other thing, it has an optics system. That's basically the 2 differences. Otherwise, the specs are exactly the same. Everything that you get will be the same. Now, if you get this secondhand or used, there may be something missing. I can't say, but brand new, this is what you get. So we'll get the old Pistola out here. Take a look at it.
Would you look at that?
First things first, this right here, the little lettering here being black, I did that. That will not come that way. It will just be the same stainless steel look. And it also will not have stainless steel components here. Everything basically will be black. Everything internally is the same. Nothing in there has been changed. So have a look at it.
You just got to look at it.
And see what you guys think. Now, first things first, we want to check. We are empty. You can see that nice bright orange there, so nothing in the chamber. As far as that goes, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, the slide release, I need to be able to do it easily. Well, Glock is about the easiest one you can do. And for any of you naysayers, sorry, if you read this manual here, Glock says it's perfectly fine to release the slide that way. Because you've got those 2 camps, right? The ones that say, oh, just do this, and then the others that say, never do that and pop it that way. Those guys are full of poo. Even the manufacturer says that you can release it that way. So go ahead, smack all over it. And while you're at it, smack on that like button. Give me one of them. Let's get you guys some specs because I know you're going to want some information on this. Okay, so in ounces, the 43X unloaded, no magazine, is 16.1 ounces. And with the mag in it, empty mag, 18.3. Loaded, depending on your ammo, whether it's hollows or ball, it's going to make a difference. 22.4. Right, so the slide length is just under 6 inches. I mean like a hair under 6 inches, so it's 6 inches. Slide width, 3/4 of an inch. Length from here to here, 4 3/4. Overall width an inch. Very slim profile, very nice as far as the width goes. The length, that's kind of where it falls apart for me. Overall, not bad. These hold 10 rounds. This also was filled in to match, you know, the stainless steel look. Usually they just come black, plain black, just like that. You can get an aftermarket magazine from Shield Arms, but this specific one that I'm actually holding in my hand has been causing problems to where it won't lock the slide back and actually falling out of the bottom of the old Pustoli here. So this has actually been retired until I can figure out what's the issue. There's also another one from Palmetto State Armory. They apparently make one. Now theirs is polymer, kind of like this one, and apparently it's pretty reliable. So I'll probably check that one out, and if it turns out to be good, I'll let you guys know. And if it turns out to be a turd, I will definitely let you know. You can see that this is pretty slim. Let me get you the 19. Right, so here's the 19 for comparison. I think you can see the difference, right? It's not like drastic, but it is a bit different. Here's what's funny is that these two are the same length this way. So one could argue that there's no difference in concealability. And while that's true as far as it trying to poke out of your shirt this way, if you're trying to run, skip, jump, and play with that much more material digging into your groin, you're gonna feel that. And then a lot of times you're actually gonna have probably another 1/4 of an inch with your holster. So definitely a lot shorter that way. Fits nice in the hand. Now the grip texture here is almost non-existent. It's far worse than the 19. And so this one can really start to get slippery if your hands get sweaty. So keep that in mind. And the one thing I've realized about Glock when comparing their magazines or their base plates to other models, they could have so easily just somehow designed this to where it kind of went at an angle, or this just kind of cut off right here. Because when you're trying to carry it, this extra bit right here, which is definitely from here to here, is a 1/2 inch, easily a 1/2 inch extra bulk that you don't need protruding out of your shirt. Because look, if you had it like this, it would stop right there. But right here, you have a nice, hard, crisp edge that does not look natural at all. Something hard and sharp protruding out of your shirt just not the best design in my opinion. Speaking of the grip again, you know, you got a high beaver tail here, right? So you can get a really high grip up on it and get a real good squeeze. I can actually, when I squeeze that real hard, I can actually kind of feel it flex a little bit on me. So yeah, don't squeeze it too hard. So trigger, you guys always want to know about the trigger, right? So let's check this one more time. One quick word about the trigger. This has a safe action, what Glock calls it. The way that this little lever here works, you see that moving, is at the end here it has a fork. And then there's a little rail there. And that fork rides on that rail. And if you try to push the side of the trigger, right, or even both sides, and try to push it without first pushing this, it won't allow it to go. Okay, so let's have a look at the trigger, how far we travel back. Okay, so right there is a very defined wall. Wait, right there. Okay, so there's the wall, and then, okay, pretty crisp, clean break. So reset. Pretty long reset compared to the 19. Again at the wall, pretty much a clean break on that. And then reset. So yeah, I think this has a little bit longer reset than the 19 trigger. Let's just look at the rest of it here. Okay, so sights. So these are the Glock night sights. These are steel. These are not plastic like the base ones. This is usually what you get right here. Yeah, so that's usually the type of sights you will have. All right, so this is just an upgrade, as well as this little symbol here. Usually this is just matte black plastic, a little more coloring on the inside. Here's the look at the other side. Just covering up my serial number here. No one needs to see that, especially not the man at YouTube. It's not ambidextrous, right? So it's either on one side or the other. I believe if you wanted to do that, you would have to buy one. So like if you're a lefty, you'd have to swap that out. So yeah, let's show you real quick the comparison between the X and the XMOS. Now you can see, right, there's not a lot of difference here. The only difference is this rail and this right here. Like I said, I enjoyed this one. Now this one I carried a lot longer than my 19. And it's funny because you would think, right, because of this length being virtually the same, there's no difference, but there actually is, because it's less weight, it's a lot slimmer, so it's sticks into my body. And also there wasn't 3/4 of an inch more material digging right into my man business. That just made it so uncomfortable to carry. But this one, with especially the FDO Industries holster, I didn't really feel this thing at all. When I compared the two, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely the one I'm carrying from now on. And so like I said, right now I've been having some issues with the magazines dropping out and the slide not really locking back like it should, which I also believe is related to the magazines. But until I'm sure, you know, I don't feel comfortable carrying this one. So at the moment, it's on the back burner. And once I get around to building our backstop for our range, then I will actually be able to show you guys these things in action. There's some areas, you know, on our property where I'm just like, it's not as safe as it could be, you know. So that's kind of why I'm not actually firing them, but it's coming. Any last details? Well, let's show you a comparison. Okay, so this one versus say my P365 here, back to back, right? That's how much right there, and that's I would say that's definitely a good 1/2 inch of material that way. And here is where it really gets just completely trashed, is that right there. This is the whole area that's gonna poke out of your shirt. Look at that. And see, this is what I was saying. Glock could have made this so much better if they would have went with this design and slanted it that way. Because not only does this look better, but it's just functional too, right? Because you don't have this extra material just poking out of your shirt. As far as width, I'm not sure. I've not looked at the specs on these, but as you can see, definitely not the smallest and most compact option that you can get. But it is a good option. I wouldn't talk anyone out of it. As you can see that I've got one now. Like I said, usually it's rocking this, but yeah, I just figured that I would show you guys some of the things that I have, and you know, maybe this will open up to you a possibility, and you're like, you know what, that one right there, that one, you went over these specs, and I like this and this and this, and maybe while I don't like that, it's enough pros to outweigh the cons, and so I'm going to go with that. Again, I'm not really saying to go with this option or not to go with this option, but if you did, I don't think you'd be disappointed. One of the things that the old Glock has going for it is dependability and reliability. So if you really, really like Glock and you just got to have one, but you're looking for something that's more concealable, where you don't sacrifice so much grip and capacity, I would say that this is definitely the way to go, especially since they have the aftermarket magazines that can give you 15 rounds in there. That makes it a very appealing option, you know. And like I said, I'm going to look into the PSA, the Palmetto State Armor magazine, and see how that one performs, because the Shield Arms one, at the moment, that thing, I wouldn't want to carry it, you know. But overall, I do enjoy this one, right? As far as this or my 19, as far as carrying, this all day, hands down. And you know, right now we're just having a look at it, but you know, as you guys know, we're putting together a range at the back of our property. So eventually I'm going to be able to take these things out and pit them against one another and show you guys how they, you know, actually let you see how they function, right? With what kind of ammo and which ones have more recoil and, you know, all that good stuff. I'm really excited about all that. But right now, I just want to introduce you to them, get them out there, because I have a lot of videos to show you guys and a lot of things I want to bring to the table. And it's not just Pistola related, you know, there's EDC items in general, survival, you know, bushcraft, like skills and how-tos. So there's a lot coming your way, so I hope you guys will stick in there with us. And speaking of which, those who are sticking with us, we've actually had quite a few members come on board and have subscribed, so we thank you for that. And you know, we hope that you guys are enjoying the content. So with that, I think that we are going to wrap this video up and let you guys get out of here. If you found this video helpful, we ask that you strike that like, smell that bell, subscribe and vibe with us and make us feel all appreciated. Give me the little twinkle toes. And we appreciate you guys for watching. As we always say, seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near, because he is near unto those that be of a broken heart, and save such that be of a contrite spirit. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. He resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So cast yourselves down before the Lord, and he will exalt you. Until next time, take care, and God bless.